Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Yellowstone calls out its most baffling detail just before it ended. The Yellowstone finale closes out various storylines and brings character arcs full circle, but it also addresses one of the show's most puzzling and debated aspects. Taylor Sheridan's neo-Western drama supposedly ended in December 2024, more than 6 years since its premiere, following the last episode of Season 5, Life is a Promise. The finale features all the Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 characters going their separate ways. They start new chapters in their lives, including one ranch hand who asks for a job from a familiar face. The Duttons try to save the ranch during Yellowstone's ending, while Beth seeks vengeance for John's death, and everyone decides what to do after leaving the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. Thankfully, most of these stories are given complete endings before the credits roll. Case sells the land to Chief Rainwater for $1.25/acre, its cost when the Duttons first acquired it, on one condition: he and his family can keep their home at East Camp. As for Beth, she finally kills Jamie and gets away with it, winning the Dutton family war. By the end, the ranch hands also move on, including Teeter. After learning she would soon be out of a job, Teeter asks Travis to join him at Bosque Ranch in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 14. Travis tries warning her against it, seeing that he's a strict boss. But Teeter pushes on, needing to find work and wanting to get out of Montana, away from where Colby died. Travis agrees and gives her money. He tells Teeter to use it to buy an audiobook and learn how to speak in English, because I don't talk hillbilly, and I ain't trying to learn. Ever since Teeter's introduction in Yellowstone Season 3, her strong Texan accent has baffled the characters and the audience, many of whom have difficulty understanding her. Jennifer Landon, who plays Teeter, doesn't have a Southern accent in real life, meaning the one she uses in the show is fake. So Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone character pointing out this confusing detail feels like he's poking fun at himself and the series for coming up with Teeter's accent. Teeter's strong accent has been a topic of debate among fans since she joined the cast in Yellowstone Season 3. Some claim that is really how some Texan women talk, while others from the state believe it's unrealistic. Whatever the case, Teeter's accent is part of what makes her stand out from the crowd. Per Looper, Jennifer Landon once said during an episode of the official Yellowstone podcast, "Teeter always made sense to me. I always knew exactly what she was saying." Perhaps Landon can reprise her role in a Yellowstone spin-off and continue confusing viewers. The long-running drama series Yellowstone has never been shy about leaving its audience with a sense of wonder and sometimes outright confusion. From the sprawling Montana vistas to the complex web of family loyalties and betrayals, it's a series that thrived on the unexpected. But as the final curtain drew near, the show did something that left fans more perplexed than ever. It called out its own most baffling detail in a way that felt both deliberate and deeply cryptic. This move left viewers debating long after the credits rolled. At the heart of Yellowstone lies the Dutton family and their centuries-old struggle to maintain control of their massive ranch. It's a saga filled with power plays, blood feuds, and a dash of mysticism tied to the land itself. One of the series' quirkiest and most puzzling elements, however, has always been the recurring appearances of a strange and unexplained mark, a mysterious symbol etched into various places across the ranch, on cattle, and even on people. The mark was referenced sporadically throughout the show's run, but its significance was never fully explained. As Yellowstone marched toward its conclusion, this symbol became more prominent, appearing in increasingly dramatic contexts. Fans theorized endlessly. Was it a brand of loyalty, a curse, a sign tied to the indigenous mythology often woven into the series? The creators, to their credit, let the mystery simmer, refusing to offer any easy answers. Then, in the penultimate episode, the show did something audacious. It brought the mystery to the forefront, only to seemingly mock its own lack of resolution. The scene in question took place in a dimly lit barn where John Dutton, played with his usual gravitas by Kevin Costner, stood facing Rip Wheeler. The two men shared a history steeped in loyalty, secrets, and unspoken understanding. Rip, ever the stoic, gestured to the symbol etched into a beam of the barn. "It's everywhere, you know," he said, his voice low and weighted with meaning. "On the cattle, on the land, even on us. But what does it mean?" John's response was uncharacteristically cryptic. He stared at the symbol, his expression unreadable. "Maybe it doesn't mean anything," he said after a long pause. "Or maybe it means everything." The moment hung in the air, heavy with implication. It felt like the show was daring its audience to draw their own conclusions. Was this an acknowledgement that the writers themselves didn't have a concrete answer? Or was it a meta-commentary on the nature of mystery and meaning? The scene sparked a frenzy online. Social media buzzed with debates, some fans frustrated by the apparent lack of closure, others praising the show for staying true to its enigmatic roots. "It's like they just told us to make up our own story," one fan tweeted. "And honestly, I'm kind of okay with that." Critics weighed in too, with some hailing the moment as a bold narrative choice and others deriding it as a cop-out. But as the final episode unfolded, the show doubled down on its cryptic stance. The symbol appeared one last time, etched into the bark of a tree as Case Dutton walked away from the ranch, his back turned to the legacy he once fought so hard to protect. Case's storyline had always been one of spiritual searching. His connection to the land and its indigenous heritage often brought him closest to unraveling the show's more mystical elements. Yet even he offered no answers in those final moments. Instead, he simply touched the symbol, whispered something inaudible, and disappeared into the horizon. The camera lingered on the mark for a few seconds longer before fading to black. This ending left fans with a paradoxical mix of satisfaction and bewilderment. By choosing to highlight its most baffling detail and then refusing to demystify it, Yellowstone cemented its legacy as a show that thrived on ambiguity. In a television landscape where many series tie up every loose end, this felt like a deliberate departure from convention. Theories about the symbol's meaning have only grown more elaborate since the final. Some fans believe it represents the eternal struggle for power and legacy, a cyclical mark on all who come into contact with the Dutton Ranch. Others see it as a metaphor for the unresolved tensions between modernity and tradition, a theme that permeated the series. There are even those who think the symbol is a red herring, a way for the show to keep its audience hooked without ever intending to provide answers. What made this choice particularly bold was how it played into the show's larger themes. Yellowstone was always about the tension between permanence and impermanence, between the desire to hold onto something and the inevitability of change. The ranch itself was a microcosm of this struggle, a sprawling testament to the Dutton family's determination to defy time, progress, and even morality in their bid to preserve their legacy. By leaving the meaning of the symbol unresolved, the show underscored this tension. It reminded viewers that not all mysteries can be solved, and not all stories have neat endings. Sometimes, the power of a narrative lies in its ability to provoke questions rather than provide answers. Of course, not everyone appreciated this approach. Some fans felt cheated, arguing that the show owed them a more concrete resolution after years of investment. "We stuck with you through all the drama, all the deaths, all the cliffhangers," one fan lamented on an online forum, "and this is how you repay us." But others saw the ending as a fitting tribute to the show's ethos. "Yellowstone was never about giving us what we wanted," another fan countered. "It was about making us think, making us feel. And that's exactly what it did." In the end, Yellowstone's decision to call out its most baffling detail without offering closure was a gamble that paid off in its own way. It ensured that the series would remain a topic of discussion long after it ended, its mysteries continuing to captivate and confound. Whether you loved it or hated it, one thing is certain: the mark of Yellowstone will linger, just like the symbol etched into its fictional landscape.